Andrea Fuentes. This is going to be a mediation session. I'm going to be your mediator. This is a situation where many of the parties are involved, not only you two. So, Ms. Sally Smith and Dr. Jamie, you are the participants here, but we know that there are many people involved in this case. So we are going to try to get to an agreement where not only you, but the other parties get the most benefits that we can. So on one side, Mrs. Smith, can I call you Sally?
That's okay.
Okay. Sally has suffered from important health issues and her career might be permanently damaged. And on the other hand, Dr. Jamie, your credibility might be also permanently damaged, and we need to figure out a complete background of both sides' feelings and perspective firstly, but also from the whole picture. So lastly, it is important to recognize the affections of the other parties, namely No More Refugees Group, the refugees themselves, and Doctors for All, DFA. So that being said, my role here is to help you find the first resolution to this issue. And furthermore, as a certified mediator, it is important to clarify that I am completely neutral, which means that my sole interest and purpose here is to find the best possible solution for both of you and a point of conciliation. It is also important to state that the information that you share with me will be completely confidential, unless both of you agree to share something specific with the other, or with more people involved or not. Are we clear on this?
Yes.
Okay, this is a compromise from me to you, and I ask you that this remains a safe space for all, which means that every party should be respectful and communicate in an assertive way without offending or interrupting the other one. Do we agree on this?
Yes.
Okay. So, given the fact that Sally is the person who asked for this session, we will listen her firstly, and then Dr. Jamie will share her view on the matter. I would also like to speak privately with both of you, if that's okay with you.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, I will listen to you carefully, but might need to write some ideas by times. Are you okay with this?
Yes.
And well, just as a reminder, there will not be interruptions unless the tone of the conversation is increasing. I will be taking notes, and I can commit to have respect for emotions. I would like for you to do the same. So, if we're okay on this, anyone has questions?
No.
No? Okay, so Sally, could you start?
Yes. So, just a little bit of background on me. I am a professional football player, and I fled my country because there was an authoritarian regime there. I was placed in a refugee space, and there I started feeling a little sick. I was diagnosed with, I thought it was just a cold, and I went to see Dr. Jamie, and she said that I had pneumonia. So then I got this vaccine, and the vaccine didn't help at all, and it just made all my symptoms even like stronger. Because of this whole thing, I missed my tryouts for a very important football event that I had going on, and also with this football event I was going to be able to participate in some fundraising, and this is very important for me. I feel passionate about it, and I couldn't complete that. So this is why I'm here, just because I felt the doctor didn't do a great job while treating my symptoms. I think she misdiagnosed me and made me lose a lot of income, a lot of opportunities that were coming my way. And even now, I don't know what my future as a professional football player looks like.
Okay, Dr. Jamie?
I understand where Mrs. Smith comes from. However, I completely will stand for my diagnosis. I do think that she had pneumonia, and I took the time, although it was brief, to examine her thoroughly, and she had the symptoms of pneumonia. And although the vaccine still is in experimental status, it is a vaccine that has been tested before, and she did not disclose that she was a professional football player, and she could have had a different treatment if she had disclosed that.
Okay. Sally, do you remember discussing that?
No, I don't think I ever mentioned that I was a professional football player, but I also don't remember any mention of side effects regardless of who I was, which I think was important. Maybe I should have said that I was a football player so my profession wouldn't be detrimented by the treatment, but at the same time I feel as a doctor she should have told anybody regardless of profession what the side effects were on this experimental thing, and I was never told any of this.
Okay. I understand also that you are looking for specific outcomes from this session, so I would like to hear what both of you are expecting from this. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can start. Let me look my notes. Out of this, I want to get a $20,000 reimbursement for the cost of therapy that I had to take after the diagnosis of the doctor. Then also $25,000 for the lost contributions that I would have raised for the fundraiser event for Children's Aid Home. I would also like $60,000 for the lost income, $100,000 for the pain and suffering that this situation caused me. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Dr. Jamie, are you expecting something from this session?
I'm not expecting anything in return. I would just like this misunderstanding to be resolved. As it has been disclosed, my malpractice insurance has lapsed, so I don't have the income to pay anything. So I wouldn't like my name to have any retaliation, or I wouldn't like any of the DFA or the refugee camp to have any retaliation or any impact or negative impact.
Okay. Sally, are you concerned only about the payments that you are requesting, or you're also expecting something from the refugee camp or something from Doctors for All?
Okay, let me check.
Because it could also be that you are concerned about the consequences on these associations, and this is a direct matter with the doctor, or otherwise you're expecting for DFA to have taken the responsibility and not leave Dr. Jamie alone.
Oh, okay, I get it. No, I don't have anything against DFA. I'm very thankful about the job that they have done with the refugees and everything. That's why my initial complaint is just to the doctor, because I felt like she doesn't represent FDA and the values, and I think she's just concerned about seeing patients like really quickly, just giving them whatever treatment. But yeah, I just wanna state that my complaint is to the doctor. I don't want to affect the DFA in any way.
Dr. Jamie, do you feel like DFA was supporting your decision of using a vaccine that is still in an experimental stage, or was this only a unilateral decision?
I feel that they do support my decision because this vaccine, although I have mentioned before is experimental, is a vaccine that we have tried to implement because it is not a vaccine that requires any type of refrigeration. So we have tried to use it for refugees so that it may help them in the future. Yeah.
Okay. I think we have a general overview right now, which gives us a lot of tools to work with. I would also like from here to set a little bit an agenda for the further steps we are going to take. I think this is a situation which clearly is lacking of communication, so my desired outcome from here would be to have like better conversations about it. So if you're okay with this, I would like to have private meetings with you both. Like maybe there are some issues that you are not feeling comfortable to discuss with the other party present. So are you okay with this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what is going to happen. I'm going to talk first with Dr. Jamie, as Sally started last time. We're going to take around 5 minutes, or if you need more, you can take more. And after that, I'm going to talk with Sally.
Mhm.
And then, if you feel that you need it, we can take a 5-minute break. We can go stretch legs, or we can do like other things to keep our minds a little bit relaxed. And then we will come back all together to see what is going to happen next. Not only in this session, but with both of your futures. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
Okay, so Sally, could you please leave the room?
Where should I go?
Okay, Jamie. So this private session is also known as a caucus. And as I mentioned before, I like to have these private sessions with the parties because there might be some things that you are not mentioning because you don't feel completely comfortable with the other party. I will remind you that I am completely confidential, so unless you want me to share something directly with Sally, I will not say anything that can compromise you. I would also like you to explain that there are a lot of options here, and one of those, which would be like the last resource, it's called the best alternative to a negotiated agreement, also known as BATNA, which basically is the most favorable course of action a person or a party can take just in case that we will not arrive to a negotiation. Okay, so if this negotiation fails, there is always this concept to achieve the best we can for both of you. Even if it doesn't cover like all your expectations, it will be the best alternative. So for this to happen, as a last resource, I would like to know, besides what you told me before, what would be like the best alternative to Sally's request for you?
I can give her follow-ups and ensure that she has the best care. However, I have nothing to hide. I gave her the best care possible, and she did come back to my service to ask for follow-up. However, I was off in an emergency, and the front desk did tell her to please wait, that I was off in an emergency and that I would come back. However, she did not want to wait. And she left before I could come back. And if she had waited, I could have give her the follow-up care and I could have give her the treatment for the secondary effects of the medication. She did not wait. She did not disclose anything of her career, and that did affect the situation of the medication. However, I stand by my treatment and I stand by my diagnosis. I myself was part of the team of the Johns Hopkins Hospital that created this vaccine, and I am sure of what this medication can do, and I know that this can be helpful for a lot of refugees. I take my time to be a volunteer at the DFA for a lot of time, and also at the Children's AIDS Refugee Camp, and I don't want this malpractice suit to affect this camp or the refugee camp. Also with the sorry, I'm just a little flustered.
It's okay.
With my insurance lapsing, I think that this puts me in a very compromised position, and I don't know what I could do to assist with the situation.
Okay. Does your insurance depends only on you, or is DFA or other association covering a part, or do you feel that you're standing all by yourself right now?
I do have a witness who can testify that I was not negligent. However, regarding my insurance, I am by myself.
Okay. You mentioned that Sally didn't want to wait for you to come back and to give her follow-up. Do you feel that if she would wait, she could have been treated rightly? Because I know, and you know, that she also, like, the reason that she's requesting for this mediation before going to court is because she asked for another opinion from another doctor. And apparently her treatment started to be better, but it wasn't related to the vaccine. So I am just wondering if you feel that in the case of following a treatment with you with the vaccine, the outcome should have been different.
It would have been different because we could have treated the side effects sooner.
Okay. So you feel like the main issue was having two different treatments because of the side effects of the vaccine that you couldn't follow up?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Is there anything else that you want to share with me?
No, as I said, I have nothing to hide.
Okay, perfect. I will ask you right now if you could call Sally and step out of the room so I can have my contacts with her. And if you have anything else that you want to share that you're not thinking about right now, you can always request for another private meeting and we can take other 5, 10, or whatever minutes you want.
Okay.
Hi again.
Hi Sally, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very frustrated. I feel like I don't know if I'm making my point clear, and this is something that I like have been dealing with ever since I left my country. I'm always like scared of not being able to explain myself in English. Um, this also happened with the doctor. I don't know if I'm, like I don't know if I'm using the proper terms. And then even with the like newer doctors, my attorney, everyone, I don't know if I'm using the right terms. And I fear that might be one of the reasons why we're not getting to what I want.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that, and I understand how difficult it might be for you. Just for you know, we always have alternatives. We can always find a translator, and if you don't feel comfortable with me as your mediator, we can always find someone with whom you feel better. Um, I think I can really empathize with you because I understand how it's to be in another country, especially in a situation where you don't feel supported. So we can do anything that you feel comfortable with in terms of supporting you, because I understand that you are in a vulnerable position respecting to citizens from this country. But I can try to understand your terms, and I can try to understand why are you here. You decided not to take this to court immediately,
Right.
so because of that, I would also like to understand why didn't you take this to court, and I would also like to understand what is your purpose here, like besides getting to this monetary agreement,
Mm-hmm.
if you are looking for something else.
Right. So I decided not to take it to court immediately because after talking to a medical expert, I was told that I only have a 50% chance of like winning. And then even if I win, then like the amount of money that I was requesting, that probably won't be realistic, and I'll be getting a little bit less. And then considering the fees of the attorney, the medical expert, and all these things, I felt like it was not worth it to go through all that trouble if I was not even gonna get the compensations that I wanted. So I decided to take it through mediation. I think what I'm trying to get to is I don't really know what I want to get out of this, but I want to get, of course,
The
monetary compensation. I was told that in here I could get to through different avenues, and it wouldn't have to be like the court avenue. So I'm trying to explore different options. I know from what I know, the doctor really cares about money, and that's why I tried to come here so maybe we could talk. I was told that the doctor was trying to kind of like expedite all these treatments because I know she's gonna get some compensation if the vaccine gets approved. So I understand that. I also care about money, but at the same time, I think we cannot play with someone's health. So I just want a space for us to talk and come to. I don't know what the agreement will look like, but I just want to come to an agreement where we can each get something out of it.
Okay. Okay. I understand, and I'm not sure about what you said about the doctor having like an interest behind this, because I don't actually know it. I don't know which are your sources, but I understand that in the medical environment this can happen.
Mm-hmm.
However, we are not here to try to find about that. We are trying here to get to the best outcome that we can, and as you said, there are many options for doing this. In case that we don't arrive to an agreement where you both feel completely comfortable with, there is also this concept that we took in mediation that is the best alternative to a negotiated agreement, which basically is if this negotiation fails, we will have to find out another solution because we cannot live here just without nothing. So that's one of the options. Maybe you will not get the full compensation because, as in the mediation, as in the court case, I'm sorry, the money that you're asking, even though it is completely understandable, the doctor may not have the means to cover that, and that I can't push him to do that, push her to do that. So I know that you don't have things that clear besides the monetary part, but I would like you to think a little bit about what would be this best alternative. Maybe you could get some compensation, maybe not. If, let's hope not, but if this doesn't happen, are you looking for something else to get? Like, I know that your professional career is very compromised right now, so what would be a possible repair for that?
So I've been thinking about what I can do in case I cannot like go back to playing football professionally. And then some of my options could be maybe becoming like coach or something like that. But you know that's just, it'll still be doing something good, but it's just not what I'm hoping for. If we get to that point, I guess it'll be fine. I'll still be doing something that I'm passionate about. I could even, I don't know, coach at the refugee camp, try to give back and help. So yeah, I think one of my main, like, yeah, besides the monetary part of it, or just the fact that like saying, oh, I want the doctor to give me this amount of money, I think I want to make sure that we see the opportunities that I lost, not just professionally, but in fundraising money for, you know, other refugees, and just like bringing awareness to the issues. So maybe we could work something towards that, you know, if it's not through the match, because I probably won't be able to play it. Maybe do something, I don't know, something else with the doctor so we can come to something.
Okay, so you feel that besides the medical issue itself, besides the monetary issues, you want the doctor to be, or to show more commitment with the whole situation and not just leave it behind.
Right.
Okay. Would you agree that in the next part of this session, when the doctor comes back, we can tell her some of the options that we are building up here? Because if you're expecting for her to be more involved, she needs also to discuss this.
Yeah.
So are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Do you feel at any point that you have been threatened or that you feel intimidated by her or by other party that is related to this situation?
No, the only issue that I have, but it's not directly about how the doctor has treated me, is just like I told you, my issue with English. But besides that, I haven't felt threatened by the doctor.
Okay, perfect. I would also like to remind you that these private sessions have the objective of being a session between only you and me, in case you don't feel comfortable with sharing something in front of the other party. So if there is anything else that you want to share, you can do it, or if you think about it after, you can always ask for another private meeting. So is there anything else that you would like to tell me right now?
No, I think I said what I had to say. And also, I'm fine with bringing it up again with the doctor. So
Perfect. We're going to have a 5-minute break now. I'm going to call back the doctor and then we will meet again.
okay.
Okay? Cool. So, welcome back. How are you feeling? Are you okay?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Are you ready? Okay, so this second part, I already talked to you both privately and with the other present. So, what I would like to do now is we have two different, way different positions right now, and I would like to arrive to a point where both of you feel comfortable. I would like to do a brainstorming because I feel we have a lot of material here and we could actually get to a negotiation. But if we don't get to a conciliation point right now, we could always have more meetings, follow-up meetings, and we could always have meetings where the other parties are here. Because as you know, again, there are two important parties besides the other refugees in the camp that are not present, and this could also affect them. So it is important to understand that. It is mainly about you, but it's not only about you. So we're going to try to get the best possible outcome, and this could also mean that we are going to follow up in a few weeks. So, Dr. Jamie, you already said that you are not looking for a specific monetary or material contribution. You are concerned about your reputation mainly, and you're also concerned about the refugee camp, and I'm guessing also the reputation of the FA, maybe? Okay. Sally, we talked in our conversations, and Sally allowed me to maybe share this with you, that she's also concerned about the other parties involved, so we can find like a shared point here. Sally doesn't feel that you are engaging that much in this process, not in terms of this session specifically, but she's looking also for more commitment with you because she's really concerned about her future, since we don't know yet if she could ever play again soccer. So even if we are not putting the complete responsibility on you, it is important to say that you're involved in this case. So we are trying to figure some things for both of you be actually committed in the next process that is going to follow. And one of the things that is really important to Sally is that because of the tryouts that she missed, she also missed the opportunity of doing fundraise for the refugee camp. So, as you are directly involved through the DFA with this refugee camp, one of the options here is to organize a type of event or campaign maybe, where you are involved in doing fundraising with Sally and with other members of both associations, the refugee camp and DFA. And that way we could cover maybe the monetary part that Sally is requesting, that is dedicated to fundraisings, which were about $25,000, if I, yeah, is that correct? Okay. And my thoughts is that it could be even better or more long-term campaign if you both would work together on this with the support of the other two organizations. How are you feeling about this, Dr. Lee?
I think I would be open to that. And if Dr. Smith allows me, if Mrs. Smith allows me, I would be on top of her treatment for her to be for her to be able to play.
Okay. Sally, what are you thinking about this?
I do like that idea. I'm just a little bit concerned because how will I know if that will make me better or it will just give me more side effects or like the same thing that happened the first time. Um, I obviously would like to continue my treatment, but I don't want to do it at the expense of uncertainty.
Okay. You mentioned that you were part of the Johns Hopkins Hospital, right? What would you think if Dr. Jamie would be responsible of your case, but also someone else from the team? Or I'm thinking that you asked for the second opinion, and this doctor, you felt really better with his treatment. So how would you feel if we could involve the other doctor and do like co-treatment? So Dr. Jamie and your second doctor could work together to follow up and to see if you're actually getting better.
Yeah, I think that's a good option, or even like you mentioned, if it's possible, bringing one of Johns Hopkins options, just because I really like my doctor, but every session is $1,000, and I'm not sure if like a little bit in the medium long term I'll be able to do it, but bringing someone that like you already know and you have worked with, I think having these two opinions will make me feel more comfortable with my treatment. Especially because like I think you mentioned you worked on the vaccine before, your team worked on it, so I think that'll be good for me.
Okay. Does any one of you has thought about any responsibilities that you would like for the other parties to take, especially DFA, which was at the end the organization which Dr. Jamie was representing?
I'm not sure I want to get DFA too involved in taking accountability or being responsible for this, just because I know a case against them will be detrimental for the refugee camp and the refugees that we're both trying to support. So I think from how I see it, the like least amount of responsibility DFA has, the better for me and for the refugees. But I don't know if that's
I
the
agree.
case.
You agree? Okay. I understand your concerns about this, and I think a court case would seriously damage DFA and the refugee camp or camps. But DFA is a really big organization, and I think we don't have to put a case against them, but maybe to convince them to bring us support, maybe monetary, maybe in organizing the fundraising campaign, maybe supporting you with the new expenses that you might have for your following up treatment, because for what I understand, both of you are lacking of monetary resources, and you can't count on, and you can't count on that for all the outcomes that you are looking for. So how would you feel if DFA would have not a case against them, but to bring them to the table and telling them this approach and see how involved they can be, so this would not be detrimental to them or to the refugee camps, but it might also help them to gain more exposure in a good way?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think having some type of like mediation with DFA will be good. And like I don't know if this will work, but I can also present the idea of how us not taking like a case against them will benefit them, and how positive of reputation they will get if they help. I don't know if in any way they can with fundraising events or um, just trying to make the refugee camps better.
Dr. Jamie?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Okay, so far we have the DFA involvement as in the table. Well, you both agree on that.
Yeah.
We are going to follow up Sally's treatment, expecting for her to be able to play again, and Dr. Jamie is going to be on the head of that with specialists from the John Hopkins Hospital. Do you think you can get someone to be involved in this without this implying for Sally to have even more expenses on her treatment?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, perfect. And we will also have in this treatment follow-up Sally's second opinion doctor. The thing here is that you mentioned that this doctor was really expensive and you couldn't afford to pay all these
All
Sessions.
the sessions.
So just to be sure, do you want him to be involved or you want us to find other ways, or are you okay with having Dr. Jamie and the John Hopkins team?
I think I'll be okay with just Dr. Jamie and the John Hopkins, and then maybe let's give it like a trial period, see how it works for me. If it doesn't, then I'll just go back to my doctor, even if it means paying more. But I'm willing to give the opportunity to Dr. Jamie.
Okay, great. And lastly, I think we have arrived to two great agreements. I feel like you are really comfortable with this. However, Sally, you were asking for more monetary contributions. So I would like to know what are you expecting from this, because clearly it's going to be very difficult for you to get the $180,000 remaining. So my idea could be to plan follow-up meetings in the mediation process, including DFA, and to see what we can actually get from them as contributions in terms of the fundraising or the contributions to the refugee camps. But I don't know if you are still expecting for something else in terms of material or monetary
Yeah,
contributions.
I think something that we can also discuss with FDA or DFA is the lost income that I had throughout like these past months. Yeah, I wouldn't add any future lost income because I am confident that with the doctor I'll be getting better. But I would like to add to these future issues just the past lost income.
Okay. So if we all agree, we can meet probably in the next month. We can, add details later. And in these weeks, what we're going to do is that I think it would be better for you both to have clear compromises with each other. So I think Dr. Jamie could actually confirm that she's going to have a team from the John Hopkins Hospital. Maybe Sally's compromise would be to get closer to the refugee camps to talk about how it's going to be the dynamic of the new campaigns or fundraising. And I don't know if Dr. Jamie or both of you could get involved, the DFA. So what are your thoughts? What are your
Yeah, I can compromise in getting the team and talking to my supervisors to start managing the fundraising team as well, to manage an event. And however, with the reimbursement of the lost contributions, I don't think I feel very comfortable with involving the DFA.
Okay. So you mean that you don't want to ask, you don't feel comfortable asking DFA to pay the lost contributions?
Yeah.
Okay. So your compromise would be only to ask DFA for future support, but not the monetary contribution in the past. Okay, Sally, how do you feel about it?
I don't know, because I feel after what you mentioned of DFA being like a bigger organization, I think it is fair to ask for those monetary contributions, especially from something that a representative of them cost on my life.
Okay. I think we definitely need to talk this with DFA present. So what I'm thinking now is that Dr. Jamie can get them involved, and once we have a long-term or middle-term plan for what the campaigns are going to do, we can discuss with them present, because I cannot promise you that the DFA is going to pay you the lost contributions, so we can discuss with them. And I'm also thinking about maybe involving other organizations that are more directly involved with professional athletes, and that could cover some expenses, not from the past, but from your treatment. And I think that could be a way of maybe balancing those
Yeah.
lost incomes. Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Okay. So we agree in these last agreements. Sally's treatment is going to be in charge of Dr. Jamie and the John Hopkins team that she's going to provide. DFA is going to be involved in the next meeting. Also, Dr. Jamie is going to be in charge of calling DFA and her supervisor to assist to the next meeting. Sally is going to approach the refugee camps to start planning a strategy and a fundraising or a campaign. And in the next meetings, we are going to discuss possible payment of Sally's lost contributions, or we're going to see options on other organizations that could support Sally. Does anyone have anything to add?
No.
No.
Are you all okay with these agreements?
Yes.
Okay. So we will meet probably in a month. And if there is nothing else you would like to share, I thank you for being here and for all your disposition. You have my contact in case you want to discuss something else, and if you both agree, we can have private meetings, are also going to be confidential, and if not, we will meet in a month. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Well,